what our kids think they can do. And I'm talking about 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20 years old. It is incredible what comes into the mind of these kids that they think, well, if I do this, it'll cause this worldwide effect. Can you know, Thomas Edison, I don't suppose that Thomas Edison, when he finally harnessed the light bulb, he thought, well, now this is going to change the world. I think he was just probably happy that he could work at night from then on. And then there was Henry Ford, he got the car running. Well, that's going to change the world. No, I think he was just happy that he could get from here to there quicker. And then there was Mother Teresa. She hunkered down to Calcutta, and she's going to start teaching the world teaching people how to love. Well, I don't suppose that she thought she would change the entire world by showing how people how to do that. But there are young people, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, they're our grandkids for crying out loud, and they think they can change the world. And what's more remarkable is that they're actually doing it. They are actually reaching into the entire world, and it causing a ripple effect everywhere. Now, I know that your kids and your grandkids know more about social media than you do, but I promise you, by the time I am done after these 5 sessions, you will know something about social media that they don't. They might know how to text at 140 characters a second or whatever, but there's a lot of background to this, and that's where I'm headed at in the next few talks. This is Google's mission statement. Google's mission is to organize the world's information. I cannot even organize my desk, and they want to organize the entire world's information, and they are doing it. Now, Google, I'm not a big fan of Google. I'm going to show you a map. I live about 4.5 miles from Google headquarters. So I'm not a tremendous fan, but what Google does, I met somebody from South Carolina. Are they here? Who's from South Carolina? There you are. So in South Carolina, Google has what's called a server farm. The server farm is about the size of a football field wide and a football field long. Effectively, this building is the same size as this cruise ship. And they have 24 of these throughout the world. And on these server farms, the size of this cruise ship, football field wide, 7 stories tall, they have a bunch of little CDs, little hard disks. Remember 45 RPMs? The 45? It's like that, only fatter. And inside these server farms, there is nothing but disks placed throughout, up rows and rows and rows and rows, 7 stories high. And on their server farms, they have a copy of everything that's ever been put on the internet. And they have 24 of these placed throughout the world. And each one costs about $1 billion. And on those server farms, they are organizing the world's information. So that when you sit at your desktop, you type something in up at the top, up it pops in milliseconds. Who would think anything could go that fast? But we can say, so this is new school social media. New school social media. We got Twitter, we got Facebook, we got Blogger, we got StumbleUpon. Gosh, we got YouTube, we got WordPress. All sorts of things I can think of. Old school versus new school. Silicon Valley. Born in Silicon Valley. 1995, Yahoo. Yahoo! We all know Yahoo, right? Yahoo is launched. Jerry Yang, he's a master's student at Stanford University. We all know Stanford University. Good school, puts out good stuff. We're going to come back there in a minute. So 1995, Yahoo is born. 1997, we have 6 degrees of separation. 6 degrees of separation is born. This is a social medium that's way advanced. It's way ahead of its time. And the theory was, if I know somebody, and that person knows somebody, and that person knows somebody, that person knows somebody, and that person knows somebody, and that person knows somebody, that's 6 degrees of separation. I can reach anybody in the world by 6 degrees of separation. I just need to know who knows, who knows, who knows, who knows, who knows, who knows. But it was way too early. It flopped. Reid Hoffman, he built it, it flopped. And then 1998, Google was born. Google was born. America. Not the center of the universe. That's your dream. There are other places that will stifle you. America does not stifle. And if you think America stifles, you come to Silicon Valley. We do not. We do not stifle there. So out of these schools, These three schools have more Nobel Prizes than all of America combined. Out of three schools. So America outranks the world. These three schools have more than all the rest of Americans combined. That's impressive, right? So we've got UCSF that has three. Who's next, Stanford or the open school? Yeah, that's right. Stanford's next. Stanford has 16 Nobel Prizes. UC Berkeley has 31. All comers go to Hippieville, and they outperform the top at the Stanford University. Now, that's something. You say, we go to this school with this idea and this mentality that I can take a risk, I can upset the world, who cares? Because that's what I am here for, to make the world a better place, to make the world think different, to make the world stretch. This is what's going on here, right? So, we have venture capital. Venture capital. This is the honest to goodness truth. There are people with piles of money. I'm serious, there are piles and piles of money. Wanting to give it away. They want to give the money away. Now, I didn't say they want to throw the money away. They want to give it away. They really, really, really do. I've got this money. You know, it's like the Forrest Gump. After a while, it's just for show. There's only so much money a person can spend, and then what are you going to do, right? They've got piles and piles and piles of money, and they're looking for somewhere to give it to. All you have to do is come in with your dream. Come in with your viable dream. Come in with your idea. And then we've got angels. I'll show you some pictures of some angels. They call them angel investors. These are people who don't want their names known, and they too have, you get good products, right? You get good products. So we have HP, Intel's there, Apple, Google's right down the street, Facebook's up the street, Netflix, right? It sits across the street from eBay, right? Yep, there's eBay, right? Netflix has lost Alice, eBay, and Campbell. You can eat lunch at eBay and have coffee at Netflix within 20 minutes. They're right that close to each other. And then, of course, there's LinkedIn, and finally we got Twitter. All of these guys. Twitter, I might show this again, so if I repeat myself, just blame on me being old, okay? But chances are, if I repeat myself for being old, you guys aren't going to remember anyway, so we're even, right? Twitter went public. They got like $10 billion, or $10 billion, or some ridiculous number, in one night. 1,600 new millionaires were born. 1,600 millionaires in one night because of their IPO. So there's money out the wazoo, right? So kind of going to go a little bit quicker here. There are more devices connected to the internet than there are people on Earth. More devices than there are people on Earth. There are more cell phones in India than there are toothbrushes. That's right. They would rather call their dentist than know what it is to not have to call the dentist in the first place. Right? 40% of people socialize. If you're sitting at a table of 5 people, there are 5 people sitting at the table, chances are 2 of them would rather not be there. They would rather be online. It happens at my house all the time. I'm serious. There's my daughter, Mia, me, and my wife. And she's on her cell phone talking to somebody. So she's keeping the percentages up. Right, Sam? She can't deny it. She's got the camera. 100,000 tweets every minute. A tweet is nothing more than a text message that you can send it to mass groups. We have 2 million queries. A query is when you use a search engine. All use search engines? Try and get some information, use a search engine. Android dude, and they got ice cream cone. Now they got one that's called Kit Kat. I'm serious, they're weird like that. That's Google headquarters, by the way. I want to show you a video. It's about 4 minutes long. You've been to one of these places, cheer! Mumbai, I've been here! Ireland, I'm going there next week! Zanzibar, I'll leave it over like that. Cheer! Everybody ever been to Australia? Yeah. The Netherlands. Wait. Can we turn it up a little bit? Matt, that guy's name's Matt. He has a website. And I don't normally talk like this, but I can't help it because it's his website. It's wherethehellismatt.com. Wherethehellismatt.com. So on his own dime, he and his girlfriend started traveling the world. And he started doing this silly dance, right? And as he done that, people began to realize this guy's coming to our city, he's coming to our city. So when he started showing up in different countries, people started to show up and dance with him. And now he's been around the world some 4 different times, dancing like a goofball, but just genuine happiness and goodwill, that sort of thing. But what he did was, this particular video here has been seen some 45 million times. 45 million times. And what he did was, he put the video up on his website, and he emailed the different people who danced at the different times. And all of those people are now coming to his website. Say, at 3 minutes and 12 seconds in Toronto, you can find me the 14th person from the right side. And they're pointing themselves out where they are, so that they can tell their friends, I danced with Matt all over the world. Well, 45 million, the average person knows about 100 people. 45 times 100 is 4.5 billion people. We've just about reached the world by doing a silly dance going around the world. Isn't that something? That's the power. That's the tremendous power that social media brings to people like us. We can do that. We can at our fingertips. Some of you have been to more countries than he has. I have a student, Susan. Susan's been to 70-some different countries. Anybody been more than 70 countries? Yeah, she has 1,000 pictures from each country. So one of the times she's throwing these pictures up online because people are desperate to see that from your eyes. You're sitting on gold. You're sitting on gold. Put those pictures up there. Say, this is what's inside that picture, and you will be found. This is what I want that picture. I want to put that here. You say, give me $10. I'll give it to you. You see, there's tremendous potential there. So this fellow, anybody recognize this fellow? Edison. Yeah, Edison said about, you can't be sure if his, and I'm going to show you who this is, if his influence was good or bad, but he definitely did not leave things the way he found them, right? He definitely didn't leave things the way he found them. Who's he talking about? Edison said, I don't know whether he did good or bad, but he definitely changed the world, right? Henry Ford, exactly, Henry Ford. So here's my pitch for today, right? Leave it to whomever to decide whether your influence was good or bad. But for goodness sakes, do not leave things the way you found them. Dream big dreams. Make things happen. We have at our fingertips the ability to change the world. Thank you very much for your time. So if you see me